In the Penal Colony, 1967-1900, is a film of just my eye staring into the lens, and the narration is loosely based on a story by Kafka. The film started as a theory of a new way of presenting film content. What if I could project all my great thoughts directly from my brain, through my eye, onto the screen? If it worked, it would solve the whole problem of filmmaking for a great number of people. So I decided to give it a try, and the first stage of the film began. Roy Barge was a cameraman, and we set up on a sound stage a chair, a camera, and lights, and proceeded to shoot 400 feet of my eyeball. Before we shot, I was going to use my right eye, but it teared up. I guess I got stage fright, and I had to use my left eye. During the shooting, I noticed that every time I would have a great idea, the eye would go softly out of focus. But it didn't happen too often. It's hard to get a great idea or thoughts under pressure and on demand. And the cause was not helped by this one student who insisted on talking to me while we were shooting. She had been a speed freak, a meth addict, and had undergone treatment with a group of heroin addicts. And she was the most successful in kicking her habit and quite proud of being a speed freak who beat the heroin addicts. The thing that impressed me most about her was that she used to shoot up by putting the needle in the underside of her tongue. After the film was done, I sent it silent to an experimental film festival, and when it was shown, the critics said that it was a true experimental film, that most of the audience got up and left before it was over. So either my theory was wrong, or my theory was right, but I had no great thoughts. I put the film aside for years until I read In the Penal Colony by Kafka, and I thought it was the coldest story I had ever read. And I also ran across a quote by Kafka. My wife actually found it for me, in which he said something to the effect that the eye was a perfect motion picture medium for going directly to the soul. I haven't been able to find it again, so if anybody runs across it, please send it to me or let me know. So I put the two together, my eye film and the assistant commandant's dialogue from In the Penal Colony. It still needed something, so I decided to put a subtle rhythm into the film by freezing my eye for 28 frames and then letting the live shot of my eye run for 28 frames. Why 28 frames? Well, a strange guy once told me that cutting on 28 frames was the basis of the alpha brainwave theory or thousand cycle theory for film. He had done a film at Berkeley using his theory and put 2/3 of his audience to sleep within 10 minutes. Besides, 28 is my birthday and my lucky number. I met this guy when he was helping Time Magazine do a story on Charles Manson. And I also used the 28 brainwave theory of the timing and the words in red-green. In the Penal Colony is my only film so far not to get into any film festivals.